Trimming a contemporary plate. First, start by centering the plate on the Giffin grip. And I always trim the outside wall first. I come in at an angle, a nice, maybe a little more than a 45-degree angle, and I angle in the side, and then I start bringing down the foot. And that line delineates where the foot will be and the side wall will start. And then I just start taking down clay. There is a lot of clay on the outside wall of this plate. And now I'm bringing in the foot a little bit to accent it and bringing down, smoothing it out and bringing it down. I'm using a smaller tool at this point because it's a smaller space. Make sure you have sharp tools. I always replenish my trim tools when they get dull. And you just want to go this speed, not too fast. This is real-time video. And come in down at the bottom of the roll. Now I'm going to make a line of where the inside foot is going to begin, and I'm going to trim to that line. You do not want to cross that line. So get that line started and deep so that you don't cross over and mess up the foot. You want to make sure that the inside flat part of the plate has a nice curve leading into the side of the plate. If you take away the foot, it should be a continuous curve, not a big jump. And I'm just taking away clay. And you want to make sure that it's not too thin, not too thick. And I do that by sound. That's what the tapping is. And you can kind of feel when you hear a deeper sound, it's a thicker area. And you can just go to that spot on the bottom and take more away. And you always want to have a 45 on the edge right there of the foot so that it doesn't end up plucking and having little bits of clay come off in the kiln on the shelf. And I'll smooth that down, you'll see in a little bit. And I'm just taking away clay, and this is the speed I go. All right. So now I have to get that little rolled edge nice and smooth. And I had to open up the Giffin grip because I didn't want to ruin my catchers, my Giffin grip catchers. So I opened it a little bit. Your left hand is on top holding that plate down and just smooth up that nice rolled rim. Now I'm going to sponge off the entire plate and try to smooth it all out so you don't see my throwing rings. And this is a damp sponge. I'm not adding a lot of water, but I am putting a bit of pressure. And when you go across the bottom like that, you're actually doing a little extra compression, which is a bonus. The more compression, the better with plates. And there you go. The red rim is going to really add that extra compression on the bottom. It's your last chance to make sure that the clay is well compressed. And, when you throw it, you compress the top. This way you can compress from the bottom. You should never have an S-crack on a plate if you do this. And I like a nice smooth round foot so I don't scratch anybody's countertops or tables. If you want to see throw rings, you can actually trim them back in or not do this part on the side. There you go, compression, compression, compression. It's very important with plates. All right. And I'm going to check to make sure that the bottom of the plate is not bowed. You should see a little bit of air or light coming through that ruler. And then you know that it's not going to bow and kind of wobble on the table. You want it to sit on the foot. Now I have some plastic wrapped around my finger, and I just burnish and smooth everything down. You don't want any sharp points or any rough spots. So I do this just to make sure everything's nice and smooth, and it will burnish. You'll see it's going to start looking shiny, but the burnish will burn off in the bisque, and you'll be left with a really nice smooth surface. And this is how I trim plates. Now I'm going to put some coyote underglazes on the bottom, because I always carve the bottom with a mandala of all my plates have mandalas carved into the bottom. Why not? Might as well. It's a surface. Might as well put something pretty on it. This is one of my favorite colors. It's sage green. It blends really nicely with the other colors. And I'm gonna add a little bit of sky blue, and then you'll see I'm gonna blend them together to make a kind of a light blue in the middle spot where they meet. And there it is, coyote sky blue. I like bringing it all the way to the edge because it's dark, and when you sign your name, that'll come through. It'll pop. The carvings on the bottom will be filled with glaze, a very stable glaze, a satin white liner glaze, but that's after bisque. And yeah, I'm just blending colors on the bottom. The coyote underglazes don't melt. They don't fuse to the shelf. I'm not worried about getting a little bit on the foot, but I will come in and trim it off the foot before I do my carving. So I'm not worried about that. And there will be one more color underglaze coming on this pot. And I think it's, what is it? It's Mazarin blue, one of my favorites also. It's kind of like a purpley blue. And it'll look really pretty blended with these other two colors. So that's what I do. The next step will be carving this, but I have to set it aside, let it dry a little bit, probably 10-15 minutes, and then I'll carve it with little tiny small tools. And that is how I trim a plate and prepare it for the sgraffito carving on the bottom. I hope you enjoy. Happy potting. Make plates, make stacks of plates, and enjoy your meals. Okay, catch you next time. Thanks for watching.